That's Cristiano Ronaldo then with his thoughts on Manchester United and also about that sort of self-motivation, that self-improvement that players have to do. I mean, it's sort of startling in a way that someone as wondrous, shall we say, as Cristiano Ronaldo is coming out and talking about the attitude of some of the players and not being quite right at a club like Manchester United.
Well, he's not wrong, is he? He's not wrong. You know,
it shouldn't be the case, should it? I mean, surely this is something that should be inbred at Manchester United, that you want to be improving all the time, that you want to be better.
Well, look, I know a number of Liverpool players and I know a number of Man United players, and I know standards that football clubs are set. And sometimes when you have to change your guard, and I can remember the early 90s and Liverpool had the Spice Boys type of image where a number of good footballers, but not performing to the level of expectations on them, and then you fall short. And that happens a lot. You know, he spoke about Man United. Teddy Sheringham came on the breakfast show yesterday, and I listened to Teddy, and I've heard this thing said before and talked about Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, many, many others who led by example and were great senior pros. Well, if you look at all the clubs doing really well at the moment, if you think, you could go Henderson at Liverpool, James Milner, and probably Van Dijk in there. They lead the club. Fernandinho, David Silva, Sergio Aguero at Man City. And then you go to Chelsea and you think of Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. And they drive standards at football club senior pro. So you are important. I moved from Marseille to Nancy, and the coach at the time said to me, I want you to come and just be a great senior pro. Not talking about performance, standards at the football club. If you're doing the running, make sure you're doing the running. You try and get to the front. You try and lead. And he said, because I want the young lads to think he's doing it, and he's played a number of games at a certain level. He's played international football. He's played 2 World Cups. So I want you to do it. They'll follow you. They'll do it. And Cristiano Ronaldo, all he's saying is he wants everybody to improve to a level that he knows what it takes to win things. He won everything in the game. So he knows what... And look, that's what drove Ramos at Real Madrid, himself, Modric, Toni Kroos, many, many others to be successful. And that was the same at Juve, success. You need senior pros to guide younger players, and they've got to be prepared to listen. I think he's saying, well, I'm trying to do it. None of them want to listen. They think I'm saying, you know it. He's a bit of a know-all. It feels like that a bit like that at Manchester United. Instead of thinking, well, actually, he's right, the standards at Man United have dropped alarmingly over the last, since Fergie's gone. And maybe unfairly on David Moyes, but that standards thing at United has been long gone for a number of seasons.
Well, I know he talks also about the gym and how we know. I mean, we know what a machine he is, Cristiano Ronaldo, and we've all heard about how when he's done his body tests, he's much younger physically than what his actual age is. He's talked about a lot of the players not even going to the gym before or after training, something he can't really get his head around. I mean, those aren't they just expected standards of athletes?
Oh, not at Old Trafford over the last so many years. No, that hasn't been.
But then that clearly goes to show why Manchester United have been going backwards for so long. If players aren't themselves motivating to be better, and I know when Cristiano Ronaldo first came to Manchester United this time around, they were all talking about, and I forget which goalkeeper it was. Wasn't there a goalkeeper that said we were all eating apple crumble and custard, and as soon as Ronaldo came in, we all were like, we better stop doing that. So there was an immediate impact, but it seems to have waned.
We're telling you all them seasons, that's why a lot's been so wrong, because diet's really important, training's incredibly important.
Lee Grant it was.
Okay, there's a number of issues there. The diet had to be right, the training had to be right, and putting the extra... David Beckham, by the way, when he was at Old Trafford, was one of the first out on the training ground and one of the last off and practising loads of free kicks. The day he wasn't that, Fergie got him out of the club. When he had so much commercial stuff going on, he wanted him out of the club.
But if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for example, and I don't want to put it all on him because there's been managers before him, but if he has come through that Sir Alex Ferguson regime, why would he not have tried to instill that once again?
I don't know, because I haven't been round. It's only my assumption. It felt like that Ole tried to keep so many players on side. And that can sometimes come at a price. A little bit too matey. The team and who he selected too often felt of the ones he trusted and the ones he didn't. I thought there was a divide created at Manchester United. I think that was clear as... That, by the way, had happened at Liverpool. You know, I've seen that because that's the club I supported, and I knew a number of players at that football club over different decades. And that happened there. So when standards drop and then you get certain people wanting to do one thing and then suddenly it gets a little bit too close, a manager has to be really careful with his players. Becoming too close and too friendly can create that lack of respect to doing the right things that need to be done to be successful. Look, United have fallen away, and they've fallen away in a grand style. So there has to be a number of reasons, but that is certainly one of them for me. He's come in, and I think he's totally disappointed by what he's seen. And probably thought,
like
this is the worst group I've probably been at for the last decade.
Well, let's see how they fare against Aston Villa. Can they improve? Certainly they need a stronger second half of the season if they are to make it and finish in the top 4. Let's not forget that Cristiano Ronaldo said it's top 3 finish that they have to have at least to have a successful season.